Today we're making Hagrid's rock cakes. I must confess, I don't actually know what a rock cake is, but apparently they're a type of fruit cake. And Hagrid makes them throughout the Harry Potter movies, and they're just rock hard, apparently because he doesn't own an oven and just cooks them on the coals instead. And so we're going to be not making that version because I don't want to break my teeth. And we start off by getting our flour. So the recipe calls for 250 grams of this. We then put in our 2 teaspoons of baking powder. In terms of the flavourings, you can probably use what you want to. Today we're going with some vanilla and some orange essence. The recipe actually calls for orange zest. However, I was not paying attention when I looked at the recipe list, so this is what we get instead. I'm not sure how much to use. I guess we'll do 1.5 of the vanilla and the same. We'll just do 1 of the orange. So we're just mixing it a little bit before we add in some of the butter. Smells very orangey. So now we need an absolutely ridiculous amount of butter. My girlfriend's face when she saw what I'd put in the trolley was quite amusing. So we're supposed to add this little by little, making sure that we kind of sift it in properly before we add in more. I remember at home economics in school they taught us how to do this part properly when we were making scones, but it has been a very long time since I baked or did anything like that. Feels like it's going to be more butter than flour at this rate. Not the healthiest of sense. So the recipe says we should have a crumbly mixture. This is not what's happening. I think I'm going to double the flour up and see what happens. Right, so we're officially going off the recipe now. We're just going to keep adding flour until it looks a bit crumbly, the dough, because it's not supposed to be this way. And a brief Google has confirmed my suspicions that something has gone wrong. Alright, so we've added all the flour and this is what we have. This could work. This makes like a ball shape. It's not quite as dry and flaky as it's supposed to be, so hopefully adding the egg doesn't change that, but we'll have to see. Now we're going to add in our mixed fruit, our sugar. We're going to use 75 grams and we're going to chuck in our egg. And finally it's time to give it a last mix before we get it in the oven. Okay, that's actually looking pretty good. I'm optimistic. Right, now I don't think that they're going to need any extra butter, but we don't want them all to stick to the bottom of the pan. Right, so it's time to assemble the rock cakes. Alright, time to shove them in the oven. I don't think I've ever been so scared to try a dish that I've cooked. However, at least it looks alright. They do look absolutely great, but let's cut one open and see if it works. That just falls apart in a very bad way. I'm not certain I can call this a rock cake, rather a sand cake, but let's give it a try. Nap taste. Okay, not great to be honest. I think I'd give Hagrid a run for his money, you know.